This is b plus c upon 12 equal to c plus a upon 13 equal to a plus b upon 15. What we need to prove is that cos a upon 2 equal to cos b upon 7 equal to cos c upon 11. We need to prove this. So they have not given us the sides directly, rather they've given us this ratio. If we take it equal to k, it will be b plus c equal to 12k, c plus a equal to 13k, and a plus b equal to 15k. If we add these three equations, it will be twice of a plus b plus c equal to 12 plus 13 plus 15. So 40k, 40, 50. 30 is 40 anyway. So a plus b plus c is equal to 20k. Now to get the value of a, put up the value of b plus c minus 12k. So this is a. To get the value of b, it will be, we have to put up the value of a plus c. What is a plus c? 13k. This will be equal to 7. Then c will be equal to 20k minus a plus b. That is 15k. This will be equal to 5. Any confusion? We got the value of a, b, c. Now it will be very easy for us to do this. Just find out the value of cos a. Cos a will be b square plus c square minus a square upon 2bc. Now b square will be 49k square plus c square will be 25k square minus a square will be 64k square whole upon 2 into b. B is 7k and c is 5k. So this will be 9 plus 5, 14, sorry, and this is 5 plus 2, 74k square minus 64k square whole upon 2, 7 are 14, 5 are 70k square. So this will be 10k square upon 70k square. K square, 0 and 0 cancelled, 1 upon 7. Same way find out the value of cos b, same way find out the value of cos c. We need to prove that they are equal. अब इसमें एक एक करके आप पुट अप कर दो. ये हमने ऑलरेडी ले लिया. So let's take this as capital A, capital B and capital C. इन तीनों में पुट अप कर देंगे. We'll get all three to be equal. Is it clear? तो जो कंडीशंस हमें गिवन थी, उस कंडीशन की जो कंडीशन गिवन थी, उस कंडीशन की हेल्प से हमने A, B, C की वैल्यू फाइंड कर ली. फिर cos A, cos B, cos C और फिर उसको यहाँ पर पुट अप. राइट? जल्द से कंप्लीट करो. लुक केयरफुली. अभी तक जितने भी टाइप के नंबर्स आप नेम कर सकते हो, जितने भी नंबर्स हमने पढ़े थे, वो सारे के सारे रियल नंबर्स. रियल नंबर इसलिए बिकॉज दे कैन बी रिटन, दे आर नोन, दे कैन बी आइडेंटिफाइड, दे एग्जिस्ट. दैट इज व्हाई दे आर रियल. देन द नंबर्स व्हिच आर नॉट रियल आर इमेजिनरी नंबर्स. अब ऐसे क्या हो सकते हैं कि कोई नंबर्स रियल ना हो, इमेजिनेशन में हो? डेफिनेटली हो सकते हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, अच्छा अब यहाँ हम वापस जाते हैं कि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या थी इमेजिनरी नंबर्स की कॉन्सेप्ट की. मतलब ये है ही क्यों, मतलब होते ही क्यों. लाइक अंडर रूट 25 इज सिंपल टू राइट 5. अंडर रूट 49 इज सिंपल टू राइट 7. अंडर रूट 64 is still simple to write 8. What are we doing? We're taking the square root. That is, square root of 25 is 5, square root of 49 is 7, square root of 64 is 8. Now, if you want to explain it to somebody that what is meant by square root, किसी छोटे बच्चे को समझाना है what is square root, how will you do that? या किसी बड़ी लेडी को समझाना है what is meant by square root, how will you do that? किसी aged लेडी को समझाना है what is square root. हाँ जी, ओके मैं वापस आता हूँ. By square root, we simply mean breaking the number into two exactly equal factors. Breaking the number into two exactly equal factors. Under root 25, 5, because 5 into 5 is 25. It is possible to find out the square root of positive numbers because it is possible to break a positive number into two exactly equal factors. यही अगर ये होता -25, -25 को हम ब्रेक कर सकते थे 5 into -5 or to the max minus 5 into 5. But these two factors are not same. These two factors are not equal. So it will not be possible for us to take the square root of a negative number. And that is why we simply used to remember, we used to mug up in the previous classes that square root of a negative number does not exist. Now, at least we know that why the square root of a negative number does not exist, because it is not possible to break a negative number into two equal factors, right? Now, this whole problem is created by this -1. जो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएटर है उसी को रिमूव कर दो. कैसे? This is based on an imagination, on an assumption. Imagination is actually not the right word. It is actually assumption. So it is based on the assumption that this problem was with this minus sign, -1. So it was assumed that there is an imaginary number whose square is equal to -1. We have been doing right from the beginning that square of a number is always positive. The actual thing is the square of a real number is always positive. √2 into √2, yeah, -1 into -1. The square of a real number is always positive. That is, there is no real number whose square can be negative. So if there is no real number whose square is negative, it has to be an imaginary number. It is an assumption. So we assume that I square equal to -1. Now it will be possible to find out the square root of this. That is 5. So this whole concept of imaginary numbers started from this particular point. We needed to find out the square root of negative numbers because they were imaginary. So it was assumed that there exists an imaginary number such that its square is equal to -1. So now to be precise, to sum this up, the numbers with I, this I is iota. So numbers with I are known as imaginary numbers. जिस भी number के साथ I लगा होगा वो हमेशा imaginary number. So now have you, अगर मतलब जो भी कुछ हमने डिस्कस किया है उसमें अगर आपको ये दो चीजें क्लियर हो गई, first, that square root of a negative number does not exist in reality. That is why it is a negative number. That is why it is an imaginary number. First thing. And the second thing is that the value of I square is equal to -1. This whole concept of complex number is based on this assumption that I square equal to -1. And with this, we need to learn, we need to understand just these two simple things. See, negative number raised to an even power is always positive, and negative number raised to an odd power is always negative. So that is why these 2 points, that all even powers of I square. See, I'm not writing off I. Even powers of I square. I square की power check करनी है. All even powers of I square equal to 1, and all odd powers of I square equal to -1. For example, I to the power 34 plus I to the power 56. ये evaluate करना है. The simple rule is that break in terms of I square. There are some people who try to break to the form of I square, I cube, I4, अलग-अलग वो हो रखे हैं. But that they are not required at all. These two are sufficient to do each and every question. So I to the power 34 can be written as I square to the power 17. I to the power 56 can be written as I square to the power 28. Now I square raised to an odd power -1. I square raised to an even power. Got this? एक और एग्जांपल देखो. I to the power 33 plus 1 upon I to the power 53. I to the power 33. Can we break? Can we stop writing? Can we break I to the power 33 directly in terms of I square? No, not possible. तो हम क्या करेंगे, इसमें एक I को सेपरेट कर देंगे. Same thing for this. Is it clear? Now, Shubham, I to the power 32 can be written in terms of I square as I square raised to the power 16 into I, and I square raised to the power 26 into I. Now, I square raised to an even power 1. 1 into I will be I. Same way, I. Whenever I is in the denominator, we always rationalize it. ऑल्दो रैशनलाइज इज नॉट अ करेक्ट वर्ड, अभी आगे हम कुछ ऑपरेशंस करेंगे कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में, मैं तब आपको करेक्ट वर्ड बताऊंगा। अभी मैं सिर्फ समझाने के लिए आपको बोल रहा हूँ दैट रैशनलाइज। सो जो भी अपॉन में उससे मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड इनटू आई अपॉन आई, so this will be I plus I upon I square. In place of I square, what will we write? Minus 1. So this will be I minus I, these two cancelled. Is it clear? Any slightest doubt? बाकी जैसे कहते हैं आप समझ नहीं आ रहा था कॉम्प्लेक्स में कुछ भी, क्लियर हो गए डाउट्स? जल्दी से नोट करिए। Now look, I to the power n, I to the power n plus 1, I to the power n plus 2, I to the power n plus 4. अगर पार्ट्स ऐड होती है तो नंबर्स मल्टीप्लाई होते हैं। So I to the power n for the time being as it is, I to the power n into I to the power n into I square, I to the power n into I to the power 4. Any confusion? What can we take common? What will be left? 1 plus I square plus I to the power 4. Clear? Now I to the power n as it is, I as it is, in place of I square, minus 1. In place of I to the power 4, I square to the power 2. So I to the power n as it is, plus I minus I square to the power plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 cancelled. It is I to the power n into 1 plus. That's the answer. जहां तक उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं। Am I clear with it? कॉम्प्लेक्स कर चुके सेकेंड टाइम चीजें मतलब इतनी क्रिस्टल क्लियर होती चली जाती हैं। अगर आपने फर्स्ट टाइम में थोड़ी बहुत भी टेंशन पे की है, थिंग्स आर नॉट डिफिकल्ट। फर्स्ट टाइम में ऑब्वियसली थोड़ा सा लगता है क्योंकि चीजें डिफरेंट है। 10th तक जो मैथ्स आपने पढ़ी है वो बहुत बेसिक लेवल पर थी। नाउ इट इज एवरीथिंग अबाउट समथिंग। कुछ ही चीजें पढ़ोगे आप, बट उनके बारे में सब कुछ डेप्थ में पढ़ो। फॉर दिस एग्जाम -1 raised to the power 4n plus 3, इसको इवेलुएट करना है। Can we write it as -1 into under -1 equal to 4n plus 3? In place of -1, we can write I square into I square to the power 4n plus 3. So this will be I square into I to the power 4n plus 3. This is I cube to the power 4n plus 3, right? So this will be I to the power 12n plus 9. I hope यहाँ तक clear है। क्योंकि 3 दोनों से मल्टीप्लाई होगा। So this is I to the power 12n into I to the power 9. I to the power 12n into I to the power 8 into I. Now 12n, can we write this as I square to the power 6n? I square to the power 4 into I. Now 6n, even or odd? Even. So only 1 plus into. I square to the power 4, 1 into I. Answer is just. हाँ बोलो, कुछ समझ में आया? थोड़ा बहुत